Welcome to another Real Food Traveler podcast. This is Courtney Drake-McDonough, Managing Editor. I'm here with Carrie Theis of Hofsas House and in Carmel, California, Carmel-by-the-Sea, which I think is such a lovely name. So Carrie's going to talk to us a little bit today about Carmel and about Hofsas House. So Carrie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, welcome. My name is Carrie Theis. I'm one of the co-owners and general manager of the Hofsas House Hotel in Carmel-by-the-Sea, California. The reason we say Carmel-by-the-Sea is this is 1 square mile of an incorporated town, which we have some unique characteristics. We don't have numeric addresses. We don't allow heels over 2 inches.
Seriously?
And when you start walking around Carmel, you'll understand why. We also have some ordinances that keep it unique. You'll find when you go walking around Carmel, which is one thing that is so beautiful about our little town, it's literally a village in the forest by the sea. And the founders, 100 years ago, that was their vision. And the locals really focus hard on maintaining that vision, and that's why it's so unique and charming. So the buildings you're not allowed to have any buildings more than 2 stories above street level. So the buildings are really nestled into the forest. We're right on the ocean. We have a beautiful white sand beach, and we're able to walk everywhere. I think you'll find that Carmel-by-the-Sea has a European charm to it with its cottage architecture. A lot of the hotels do have Dutch doors. We also have beautiful flowers and that bloom year-round, along with our evergreen trees of the pine trees and the cypress. So it's very green, very fresh, very low-key also, because everybody walks everywhere. So it definitely is a low-key vibe. The sidewalks kind of around 8 or 9 close up. We really like to have a peaceful time here, and we really enjoy the beautiful scenery that we're blessed to live in. And so it's I think for people who want something different, they come to Carmel to really re-energize themselves and get centered because it's so beautiful, it's so fresh. We also don't allow any franchise food, no big box stores, no big box hotels. So it is definitely a boutique feel in this little 1 square mile village of Carmel-by-the-Sea.
When I was walking around last night, I kept saying to my husband, it's like a fairy tale here. You know, one building was more charming than the next, and the flowers are gorgeous. And there was moss on the roofs, which we certainly don't see in Colorado. It's just really kind of magical around here.
It is magical. I think that once people come to Carmel, it pulls you back, because it is so magical. The cottage architecture is what you're seeing, and we don't have developments here, so each house is really built individually. So that's what you're seeing is each, and some of the founders, they built houses in the cottage architecture. So there's a little house called Hansel and Gretel. And this gentleman, I think it was in the 1920s, he built this house for his wife's dolls. So if you go walking around Carmel, because we don't have numeric addresses, we have names on our houses. And so you'll see some fun names like Periwinkle and Sea Urchin or the Hideaway. So I think that also lends to the charm.
Yeah, definitely. Tell me a little bit more about the European history, because that sort of surprised me. Was this a European settlement?
No, actually, it wasn't really European, but a lot of people from San Francisco came down after the big San Francisco earthquake. A lot of artists and a lot of writers. And so it wasn't necessarily European, but I think the people that started building here had that European architecture that they built the houses with that in mind.
Okay.
And so, with the little pointed roofs and the shake roofs, and so I think that was more, it really wasn't a European as somebody from Europe came here, but it was people that were already living here that enjoyed that kind of architecture to lend itself to kind of get nestled in the forest.
Mm-hmm. So has it always sort of had a artist colony vibe to
Definitely.
it?
Yes.
And to this day?
Yes, to this day. I mean, in a 1 square mile village, we have 4 performing art theaters. We have like 40 different art galleries, many of them artist owned, so you can go into the art gallery and you can actually see the artist painting. We have a plein air festival in May where the artists come and they paint at the shoreline or in the city, in the village or different places. So it has always been very much focused on art and writing and performing arts.
It feels very relaxing here and at ease. Is that something that you want to nurture? I mean, is that a kind of a message you want to send to people?
Yes, absolutely. I think that when you come here, you realize that it kind of, because our lives are so involved in technology, and this little town, because you walk everywhere, you don't have to get in your car and you don't have to fight traffic. You can walk everywhere, and so you're really taking in the scenery as you're enjoying the town. And I think because we don't have a late night activities, it's really spending time with yourself or your loved one, more in a relationship way than just going and being entertained. Does that?
Yeah.
And it's definitely a low-key vibe that we want to foster. And we encourage people. There's so many nice places to come and walk. I mean, if you take a walk on the beach, it's a beautiful white sand beach. Or we have different little hiking places. So there's a lot that you can do outdoors, along with our wonderful boutique shops, wonderful restaurants. We have wine tasting rooms that you can walk to, so you don't have to get in a car and taste wine. You just walk to 14 different wine tasting rooms that highlight our Monterey County wine. So we also have, like I said, the performing arts. So we have different types of plays, or our largest venue is the Sunset Center, and that's where we have people that different types of, we have dance, or we have performers, or we have comedians come, big name comedians come and do shows for us there. So it's very much a village, which is why we go to the post office every day to get our mail. And that keeps the village character, because we keep in touch with people here.
That's nice. And not that I had preconceived notions necessarily, but I noticed that Carmel-by-the-Sea doesn't have a typical seaside kind of schmaltzy feeling to it. I mean, it feels, first of all, the whole kind of European feel to it is a little bit unexpected, but it feels very genuine and authentic, and like it wasn't built for the tourists at all. It's just we, as tourists, in the one day I've been here, I feel like I'm stepping into your regular lives, as opposed to something that was set up for us tourists. Which is refreshing.
Yes, that's a good observation. Nice. And one way we do that is we have a very minimalistic approach to signage. So you don't see a lot of signs, or we don't allow neon signs. All the signs can only be a certain size, and each business can only have one of them. So it's more, like I said, it's not in your face. It's more in the background, which as a business person you kind of have to get I always say you have to learn to do business in Carmel because it's a little different, because you just can't put up a sandwich board and say, come see me. Mm-hmm. So yes, you're right. Those types of building ordinances and business ordinances do keep it more genuine.
Mm-hmm. And I was pleasantly surprised that it was an easy few-minute walk to the beach, this gorgeous white sands beach. It was just amazing. And not that I'm a golfer, but this tells you how important Pebble Beach is, that I knew what that was.
That's right.
And that's right within view. So tell me a little bit more about some of the big things that are right near here.
Right. So exactly right. When you go to Carmel Beach and you look north, that is actually Pebble Beach Golf Course. Mm-hmm. So that's our next door neighbor. And people don't realize how close things are. So Carmel-by-the-Sea is part of the Monterey Peninsula. And so Pebble Beach is our next door neighbor. Monterey is 10 minutes away, and the Monterey Bay Aquarium is part of that. We also have within 10 minutes south of here, we have the start of Big Sur and the beautiful Highway 1 coastline, Big Sur Highway. So within just a few minutes, you can use Carmel-by-the-Sea as your base, and you can go venturing along and it not being very far away. So if you wanted to go down to Big Sur, on about an hour's drive, you would get a really good feel what the Big Sur coastline is. You could see the famous Bigsby Bridge. You could go to Point Lobos State Park, is only 3 miles away, which is a beautiful walking state park. You could go down to the Big Sur Village, which is about an hour away, and see some of the big redwoods that people talk about. So you don't necessarily have to drive all the way down Highway 1, but you can go about an hour and get a sense of what the Big Sur coastline is. Unfortunately, right now, about 2 hours south of here, the coastline is closed. So you can't do the drive all the way down to L.A. You have to come back. But you don't have to miss it. That's the point.
Right.
You can stay in Carmel and spend about a half a day down there and then still see it.
That's great. So we've talked about how wonderful Carmel-by-the-Sea is and surrounding areas. And, of course, one needs a home base for all that. And we're lucky enough to be staying here at Hofsas House Hotel. So tell us about that, because it has a pretty amazing history.
Yes. Thank goodness for my grandmother, Donna Hofsas. She and her husband, Fred Hofsas, came here 70 years ago to start the Hofsas House. Wow. And so they moved from L.A., and they purchased a few of the little cottages that you see here on the property, and they resided in one or two of them, and then they rented out the rest. So in 1947, that was the start of the Hofsas House. About 10 years later, my grandmother built the 4-story building that we're in now, and that made the hotel about 28 rooms. And then several years later, she added on to that. So we have 37 rooms, all of them uniquely decorated. So we have anything from smaller rooms with queen beds to kings with private balconies, ocean views. We have deluxe king rooms with fireplaces and ocean views. And we do consider ourselves family friendly, because we have many rooms with 2 beds, or we have 2-bedroom, 2-bath family suites that could take up to 6 people.
Wow.
We're one of the few hotels that has a swimming pool and 2 dry saunas, and we're blessed to have a lot of the parking we have. And we are really accessible, like you said, to the beach. It's about 8 blocks. A little healthy on the way back because it's a bit of a hill. And then the downtown business district, we're 3 blocks from the main street. So it's a great location. We have some wonderful sunsets from here, and our goal is to provide casual European elegance with the warmth of family hospitality, since it's still in the family. And
speaking of family, I read that you were here as a child.
Yes. So my summer jobs were helping my grandmother out, but as early as 8 years old, I was helping take guests to their rooms and taking them towels. So I always had an affinity for this business, and my grandmother and I were very close. And so I knew one day I would do it. It was just a matter of timing. So after my grandmother passed away, my dad and my mother took over. And then my dad passed away in '96, and a few years later, I came to take over and run along with my mother and my brother. Mm-hmm. And now my son has also worked here.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a family run, and I love living here. It is. There's days when I don't even move my car. Mm-hmm. So, what's nice about this business is the people. We in our lobby, when we serve our continental breakfast, you could have people from all over the world. China, Germany, Australia, all across the U.S. And so it's really fun to host people when they come here so they can visit this beautiful area.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed when I enjoyed breakfast this morning that you're using local coffee and mm-hmm. baked goods from a local bakery.
That's right.
I mean, it seems like everybody really is, invested in promoting the local and keeping things local and real and helping each other out business-wise.
I think in this area, it's where the hotels help each other out. Trying to, if I don't have the right accommodations, trying to recommend somebody else. So we really do work together for everybody's benefit. It's just a small town. Mm-hmm. I think we only have less than 1,000 rooms in Carmel. So, some hotels that they have that all by themselves, right, let alone we have 45 inns in Carmel, and that makes up about 1,000 rooms. Mm-hmm. So I really feel we can help each other out. We really, it's a small town, so we need to work with each other to make everybody benefit. I think there's room for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's great. I mean, I haven't been here very long mm-hmm. So far, but I really do get that feeling, just in some of the shops and restaurants we stopped into last night. Uh-huh. There wasn't that kind of competitive feeling. It right. was more of a
hopefully warm, welcoming
feeling. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm-hmm. It really was pretty refreshing. There's a beautiful mural out front by your entryway, mm-hmm. a couple actually. Uh-huh. Tell me about those.
So the mural is a Bavarian mural, and it was done by a muralist, Maxine Albro. And if you ever go to Coit Tower in San Francisco, in the 1930s, there was a workforce project to build the Coit Tower and to paint the bottom floor of that tower in murals depicting life in the 1930s. And so she was chosen to paint 40 feet of that mural, along with other artists like Diego Rivera. Mm-hmm. And her mural depicted California agriculture in the 1930s. Mm-hmm. After she did that, she was living here in Carmel, and my grandmother knew her. And Hofsas is a Bavarian ancestry name. And so my grandmother said, could you please enhance the Bavarian theme here by painting this mural? And so Maxine was nice enough to paint the mural. And luckily it's in a driveway, so it's not really exposed to rain or a lot of sun. So they were very smart in where they put it. So we've had it touched up, but we really think it enhances the Bavarian theme. And it's nice because it really does welcome people as they come into Carmel. Yeah. And so it's a lot. It's really nice that Maxine was able to do that for us, and so we appreciate what she's done.
And I understand one of the rooms even has one of her paintings in it.
So she also painted a headboard and a valance, and so we call that the Maxine Albro room.
Oh, okay. All right. Does the hotel have any special events specific to the hotel?
Yes, we have 3 charities that we work with. Next week we're having a food bank, Monterey Food Bank event. So we are inviting chefs to come and prepare food, and people come and get some food. They get a little wine, and so it's the Monterey Food Bank event. A lot of food is collected during, of course, the holiday period, so they need a little boost in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So we help with the food bank. We also help with the public library, and during the holidays we have a wonderful gingerbread decorating event where people come and we provide the gingerbreads and decorating, and children and adults come and they decorate their gingerbread for the holidays and take it home. And then the third type of event is we have a wine tasting event for the Peace of Mind Dog Rescue, and they help elderly dogs and elderly people, so that sometimes when elderly people have to go into assisted living, they can't take their dog with them. Mm-hmm. So this organization helps foster the dog, and then they go visit their elderly owners in the care home.
Oh, nice.
Or if it's a situation where it's an elderly dog, they try to foster them as well.
Oh.
So we do have different events here to help the local organizations, which is a lot of fun.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
We're a real food traveler, so I have to ask about the culinary scene here. Is there a certain Carmel-by-the-Sea food item that's kind of quintessential to you?
Well, that's a good question. Just 20 minutes away from us is, they call that the Salad Bowl, Salinas Valley, where approximately 50% of the vegetables and lettuce that is produced in the United States comes from Salinas. And so a lot of our chefs really focus on that fresh vegetable, whatever's in season. So a lot of our chefs, their menu changes, weekly, depending on what's available. Mm-hmm. In California, in Carmel, about 20 minutes away is Castroville, which is the artichoke capital of the world.
I saw that driving
And
in.
so we have a couple places here in Carmel that really, which is artichokes, serve artichokes. Whether they're steamed, whether they're steamed and then kind of fire roasted, that's kind of unique to this area because they're so close. Mm-hmm. So the artichoke is definitely something I would recommend if somebody comes here. The other thing is, because of the ocean, we have the Monterey sand dab, and the Monterey sand dab is a very delicate flat fish, thinner than a sole. And it's usually lightly breaded and like pan fried, and it's very good. So we have a couple places here in town that do that, and that's very distinctive to this area.
Wow. I went to a place last night, a pub, and I saw that on the menu, but I ended up having their Irish stew instead because it was so close to St. Patrick's Day, but it was absolutely delicious. And my husband had clams that were amazing.
Oh,
absolutely
great.
Amazing. We wanted to make sure we had some seafood our first night.
Yes, definitely. We definitely have good access. The other thing is squid is another thing. So calamari here. A lot of places offer fried calamari as an option, and that I think is fun.
Well, I would imagine the chefs are just in heaven because, this is California. Talk about being able to access local everything,
Yes.
That just must be an amazing position to be in.
It is. They really focus on that, and along with the Monterey County wines. So you'll also see several. We have wine pairing dinners at different restaurants, which is fun because then they're fixing the food and they're pairing the wine, and we have a lot of different types of restaurants. We have Mediterranean, Italian, Japanese, American, fresh. We call it California fresh. So we have about 40. I just heard there's 50 restaurants in 1 square mile. That's quite a lot to get through. Mm-hmm. So we enjoy our different types of restaurants we have here and the type of food that they prepare.
That sounds fabulous, and I'm looking forward to my next few days here to explore some of that a little bit more.
I'm so glad that you were able to come.
Oh, well, we're thrilled. before we sign off, is there anything else you want to make sure our readers know about coming to Carmel-by-the-Sea?
I think hopefully people want to come here for something a little different, and it's more of a different boutique, charming town that they want to kind of be able to walk everywhere and really experience the beautiful fresh air we have and the surroundings. And once they come to Carmel, I think they get the magical sense of what Carmel is about, that they will come back. And the Hofsas House, we want them to be comfortable while they're here. And my staff is great, so we're happy to help them plan their day and make sure that they see whatever they feel their interests are. Because we have everything from food, wine, art, history, outdoor. So it really depends on what your interests are, and that's what makes this area so fun to come for.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know right now, while you and I are talking, my husband is doing a hiking loop that will take him down to the beach and back to the hotel. And I'm going to head down to the beach for a little bit, and then we're going to the aquarium later. So, I mean, just in one morning, we're fitting in a nice little variety of things. And,
exactly.
yeah, it sounds like it's going to be pretty easy to fill our time in a variety of ways.
Which is why I'm glad you're staying for 3 nights, because I really feel sorry for people that come for just one day. They get here at 4 or 5, and then they have to leave. I think to really get entrenched in the low-key vibe of Carmel, I think it takes a couple of days.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much to see and so much just sitting and kind of communing with nature to do.
Exactly.
Just on the beach. Yeah, even last night, even though it was a little bit chilly, we just sat down and just really took in the beauty and how amazing it is that there's the ocean just a few blocks away.
And you can hear it from here, too.
Yes.
So you can smell it, you can hear it. I think Carmel can really be a place for mindfulness. And so it's easy, even from your room, to have different senses that you can experience.
Yeah, well, it's charming. If there was ever the perfect place to use that word about, this is it.
Well,
so,
thank you.
Thank you so much for having us and for talking to us today.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it.
I really enjoy trying to help people understand what Carmel's about so they can come here. So thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you.